So we should be live again. And this is probably going to be a short one. And it's going to be something as far as you getting the concept, if you've never heard of this at all. That is a shame. And I'm glad as far as you go. As far as my conversations with you go, this is a breakdown and it's pretty self-explanatory. And as far as your reality goes throughout your own game, in your own now, I think you will experience a completely different set of circumstances that I did, obviously, right? And I think as far as these circumstances beginning with freedom and isolation in freedom is what I hope you realize is normal for you. So the anime we're looking at is called Tower of God. And the title of this live stream is A Tower 222 God. And just kind of, and actually, wait, let me make sure it says I'm live. Just, okay, yeah, Tower 22 God. And I don't know, I might change the title to The Tower of God, or The Tower to God. But I think A Tower to God is better because at the end of the day, that's kind of the premise. You're creating a tower that allows you every level of it you go through and fight through and work through, it allows you to go to the next level with the whole kind of spiritual growth that the challenge of the previous level takes or gives you. And just to give you some idea of the anime, it's pretty simple. Premise, Tower of God centers around a boy named 25 Bam. 25th Bam, but 25 Bam, whatever you want to call him. Bam. 25. He has spent most of his time trapped beneath a vast and mysterious tower with only his close friend, Rachel, to keep him company. When Rachel enters the tower, Bam is devastated. Somehow, Bam manages to open the door to the tower. Now he will go any distance to see Rachel again, even if it means dying. When he enters the tower, he meets allies that help him up the tower. The tower is a mysterious structure that is completely enclosed and hosts unique environments. It is permeated. There's just this fucking element. It's called Shinsu, but it's like water inside this fucking thing. It's I don't know, similar to magic in other cosmic universes. It is inhabited by different intelligent species. Living on the top floor is associated with a higher status in the tower and better living conditions. This is because ascension from one floor to the next is only allowed by passing increasingly difficult tests of strength, dexterity, and wit. Each floor is composed of 3 layers. Oh, wait, is there any? At the top of the tower sits the 10 great families, which from the governing body of the tower, a figure known as King, whatever, is the chief leader of this body. Each floor is composed of the 3 layers: outer tower, which serves as the residential area, an inner tower where people are tested, and a middle area, which acts as a network linking each floor. Shinsu, roughly translated as divine water, is a substance found within the tower, varying concentrations on each floor. On lower floors, Shinsu is diffuse and inconspicuous, similar to air. However, on higher floors, Shinsu increases in power and concentration and is said to be viscous and flowing similarly to water. So, if this is the first time you're reading this, which I presume it is, and I expect it is, I want you to realize the origins of this story. Okay? And as far as you understanding these things, and again, there's a video called A Mind Too Beautiful, and it's about what you are, and you understanding these things can relate in a lot of this story and relate it to music. And I think to just throw the game onto these VODs, because it is called A Tower to Do God. And again, I don't want to get into the topic of the God within you too much here, because I have a video coming up about it, and I think as far as the story goes to you, it speaks for itself. But the journey of the anime, without watching it, for your sake, maybe you want to watch it, it's up to you how you spend your free time, but Bam is driven in the story by really the character he knew, Rachel. And I think as far as music goes, having, and I've mentioned this before, but the you are mentioning and I mentioned how this matters in deciding this is important. But depending on who you are and what your now is and the circumstances surrounding your now, there's no way for me to go into your head and know that. But I know how the chase for that goes. And I think when it comes to climbing levels in your own tower to God, and I'm not talking to heaven, I'm talking about the God within you, right? Like, to climb these levels and transcend with the accomplishment of fully completing the last level. And again, I'm not talking with the I'm not talking you make the hook, you make some intro, you make a hook, and it's over. Like completing the level. Do you understand? Completing the entire thing. And going and inputting your story as quick as possible. And to a point where it's okay, right? This challenge, the circumstances that you approach it on or are approaching it, and as far as the you goes, are not just sitting in a room. You know what I mean? Like, well, you don't know what I mean. Most of you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But as far as you go, these things obviously aren't just like sitting in some cellar, right? Like, your challenges are beyond that. And it's like the tower, right? Like, every level has its complications because of the life surrounding it that you live in, the real type of circumstances of that. And I would say that this, though, is the most important base of story you will ever, and it's definitely the things that you'll always look back on in my head, like, as far as it being the origins, right, of when I started playing. Like, this is the game. You understand? Like, the game and reality for you, as was for me, is that you start on level 0. And I think everybody starts on level 0. Of course, right? But you, like I, just have the curse of the desire of whatever it is for you and whoever you are. It is not even a desire. That really can be explained by other than saying you go up in levels to not do anything but to just play. And I think when you stop playing and don't play for anybody but yourself and your own story is when you eventually find what the God within you is, in a way, trying to tell you. Through massive amounts of decision making that gets locked in frequency of storytelling of your life, really, pictured out over. And again, whenever I was playing, the number is astonishing. What I was able to piece and able to piece a lot of weird fucking shit. And these things being timeless in their own sense is the truth. But as a result of climbing the tower and having this body of work that at the end of the day is the climbing of the tower of God, or the tower to God. And as far as the frequency I make today, which hopefully I make frequency today, as today goes. We made a song yesterday. Should be able to do one today. But as far as I've been mixing a lot of my records because I've been fucking getting good at getting better at that shit, and I feel like I've made a couple ones better. Anyways, this kind of climbing though, you're not worried about that. You're worried about the storytelling. And when it comes to storytelling with frequency, you have to do the work of inputting the frequency of you. And as far as that goes, even, like, you can't fucking chat GPT up even kind of lyrics that make sense, because you need to focus on the sound. You need to construct a way to fit in it. And you have to do this so fast. And you have to just break through levels on some intuition type shit. Whatever the fuck you think of, whatever you gotta scream, whatever you gotta say, whatever sound it is, all you're trying to do is not only find like natural, and it's not even what you're trying to find other than yourself. Actually, like, that is what you're trying to find, is yourself. And whenever you climb the tower and play on the highest level, and play to win, the rewards come from really years of playing. And as far as your first levels go, that first rush, that first race that you have to, you want to play so fast, probably, and you want to input as much as you can, and you want to, you know, get some type of head start. It's respectable, don't get me wrong. But you can't ever stop playing the tower. And as far as the fulfillment you get, I think it feels pretty good. Like, I feel good whenever I have, again, a kind of guarantee that when I choose to play any single time, anywhere, that I'm playing from the perspective of 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 God. And again, let's be clear. This is not some God complex. This is the reality of what this is the reality of deep levels of the tower, in the sense of spiritual challenges being overcome, and whatever your own unique challenges are when you're playing, you realize, though, the God I speak of lives within us all. And you all have the opportunity to go about your own journey and reach some level of it. And you can feel it all the time. You can feel it at regular churches. You feel closer to it. We all have it. And as far as it goes for me, I feel max, not even close to max level. I'm only 25 years old, right? 25 BAM. I'm 25 BAM in the flesh, bro. But no, as far as me been playing this shit for a while, it is what it is. But as far as my connection to my own God within me is stronger than ever. And as far as, and again, I talked about this in a video a couple days ago, and I'll put it up on the screen because it's actually the thumbnail, bro. Think about that. Thumbnails are randomly generated. And the thumbnail of the video was this. It was exactly what I wanted it to be. But welcome to the Adjustment Bureau, where we're talking about life paths. And the concept of this through the story is really interesting, right? It's like this book, there's lines, you've seen it. And as far as the ripples of the lines, but as far as you getting a picture through this of what your path could look like through playing tower to God, you walk away from your base of this. And again, I'm not talking about 10, 15, I'm talking about hundreds of levels. You could probably do 100 in a month, bro. I did not do 100 in a month. I probably did 200 in 3 months. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, the files would say about 4 months of time, it was 333. And as far as there being a lot of trash that I had to go through and kind of get rid of a lot of these things. And things that you have to decide, do I want this a part of this? And do I want this to exist? But that kind of growth in your ability to come up with a way of speaking into the microphone that is completely you, and that kind of story you're kind of trajecting and understanding better and understanding what you're trying to say and what this kind of subconscious kind of satellite thing that you kind of connect to whenever you're writing a song based on intuition and not fucking writing a song, fucking going with ChatGPT, writing a fucking what rhymes with this, what rhymes with that. Like, shut the fuck up. All right? If you write songs like that, I feel bad for you. I literally feel bad for you. I could never, right? I walk in the booth. I walk in even this situation. And we're going based off feeling. When you play when you're feeling it, you play when you don't. But as far as writing these things down, trying to structure something in the sense of patterns is not the way I see it at all. And the reason why I see it differently, though, is because I'm telling story of life. Perspective. Do you understand the difference? And I guess your sake, you understand, like, the story is more important than the patterns that you're trying to get somebody to subconsciously kind of forget they're listening to. Like, no, these, and again, there's patterns in my songs as well. I'm not saying that these things are fucking, my fucking computer's black. It's back. Am I still live? Yeah, I'm still live. What the fuck, dude? It's so weird. Is this still open? No, there's patterns in my songs. Do not get it twisted. And there's times that it's easy to repeat something. But as far as beginning with that, I don't think that's what your base needs to consist of. Because at the end of the day, you can make all that shit later. And what really matters is you and your story and your perspective, where you came from, who you know. And I'm not fucking, not like who you know in that sense, but like, what do you know? What is your perspective? What have you seen? What makes you unique in the sense of when you make the pattern fucking mainstream type of sound, right? Where your story kind of gets condensed into small part that kind of everybody tries to figure out, right? This never happened to me, right? But I imagine that's kind of how it is. It feels like, right? You kind of come across people by just seeing a little section of their existence. And that, I think, for your sake, is more important, though, to build is this base, and climb the tower and realize you're climbing the tower to God in the sense of your own God within you. And that kind of commitment to that and dedication to that is something that he only, and in my sake, you could be a she god inside of you. I don't know what the fuck you are, bro. But as far as my fucking thing that speaks to me, definitely only seems to want to see me win. And as far as turning my perspective into sound at times really fast, where I can stop doing the sound importing and go live more perspective, it happens like that. And yeah, one day this stream will turn off. I'll go back to my reality. And it's a lot more fun than sitting here doing this. But without playing the game, I don't get closer to this thing. So I play the game. And as far as your tower goes, I wish you luck climbing. And this was just a short kind of introduction to the Tower of God, or a tower to God, that matters as far as even just realizing the story. What it means to you can be anything, but just understand that this is an anime. That was made in South Korea. And as far as what that means to you, take it as you will.